Hey guys, SK here, back with another Clash Royale video. Hope you guys are all doing well. Today we are currently 8-0 in a Grand Challenge undefeated score using Icebow 3.6 elixir cost with the Valkyrie in here. So going to be trying to get a 12 win today with Icebow. Quite a lot of people have been asking for Icebow videos as of late, so I'm going to be trying to give that to you guys. They're usually pretty well received when I do post an Icebow video, so hope you guys enjoy. Let's get right into the matches as I found the first game against KGB. So I'm not a particularly good Icebow player. I think I'm okay at the deck, but obviously I specialize a lot more in Thupano with the archers and fireball. Just gonna go for an ice wizard to start out, and we do see Royal Hogs come down with the cycle card, so I think it's gonna be Royal Hogs Earthquake. Gonna activate King because Valkyrie doesn't fully counter the Royal Hogs, and thankfully one pig does walk over to the King Tower, so I was able to get the early activation. Going to be really crucial in a matchup like this because they are going to be just constantly spamming you with an onslaught of Royal Hogs, so you really do want to get that activated King as early as possible if you can with Icebow. Also going to go in here because he just uses Cannon and his Royal Hogs, which means you won't exactly have a perfect response. Does have to go for a Queen and Earthquake, which is pretty good for me, I would say, because I can just Ice Wizard to finish the Queen off. And he just used his ability, so I'll just log it off to make sure it gets taken care of. And now we are in a pretty good spot to defend, because if he doesn't want to go for Royal Hogs, I can just go for a low Tesla, and he doesn't have Earthquake back in cycle. I did actually make a matchup guide on this with one of my friends, Manu, really talented Icebow player, who kind of taught me this matchup, and I was actually really proud of that video. But one of the big tips was, again, to activate King early on, and then also go for these low Teslas early on, so you can maybe bait out an Earthquake, although obviously my opponent just uses Earthquake, so he won't have it there. Gonna go for an Xbow and Valk in front to predict the cannon, as we do get the prediction off nice. He's gonna be forced to go for an Earthquake here. If he goes for a Queen, I think it won't really do the trick in time, so we are gonna get a small connection there, which is really nice. For some reason, my opponent's going with these high Earthquakes, not hitting tower, which I don't really get why he's doing, but we do get a small connection. We are still losing in terms of tower damage on the right-hand side, but I think we should be able to do pretty good here. So in the matchup guide, I also talked about how you usually want to switch to another win condition in this deck, and that's one of the pros of Icebow. It's the fact that you can use Rocket as an alternate win condition in matchups where it's going to be really hard to get an activation, or rather to get an Xbow connection. And so I'm definitely going to try and Rocket cycle as this game progresses, because he's going to probably constantly go for Royal Hogs, might even switch lanes. He's already trying to switch lanes to my lane, so I'm actually just going to Rocket right now, log the Queen back, and I think it should be perfectly defended. And then now, once again, going to go for a Tesla, because yeah, he's probably going to punish my Rocket with Royal Hogs. Also take note of this Tesla placement. I'm using anti-Earthquake Tesla placement, so all the way up there, opponent cannot hit the tower and the Tesla with the Earthquake, forcing them to choose. And usually I think it's better for them to hit the tower so that they can get tower damage, but it does mean the Tesla will do a great job at shutting down the Royal Hogs. Also, Valkyrie plus Log will perfectly counter Royal Hogs if you time it right. Unfortunately, the Valkyrie got kind of thrown off there, but I think it was the Ice Spirit, but it's still fine. Gonna go for Skeletons down low for this Queen as well, and Xbow should probably get a small connection, does help out against the Queen, and we do get a connection, which is really nice. Gonna put us in the damage lead, and just gonna go for a Rocket now, because I just got a huge connection, and I'm not really worried about anything here, even if he does Earthquake this Tesla, which, yeah, he does. I can just log it back, and I'm not really too worried at all. I mean, Royal Hogs get like one hit there, because again, activated King is just so useful. Now my opponent's predicting my Xbows, so it's at this point where I'm probably not going to play many more Xbows, and just kind of sit back and chill. Gonna Valkyrie before going for a Rocket. I was about to Rocket, but usually you want to Rocket after you have a successful defensive sequence like I did just now, so just going to go for that. My opponent gives a good game. I guess he kind of knows that it's over. He's probably not going to actually give up. Yeah, he's still trying. Tesla will snipe the Queen, actually, forcing the ability out early, which is really good. But now I don't have a Tesla for this next set of Royal Hogs, so I have to be pretty careful, and going to get ready with my Valkyrie. Yep, there they are, so going to go for a Valk. Ice Wizard should slow all the Royal Hogs down. Going to Tornado just to make sure they don't get too much damage, and just like that, we got another really nice defense, and we are quite highly in the damage lead at this point. I feel like ever since the Earthquake nerf a few months ago, this matchup definitely got better for Icebow, because Earthquake just doesn't really do much damage compared to Rocket, so you can pretty much just spell cycle them out, and if you defend perfectly without too many major mistakes, you should just be able to win this one pretty easily. So yeah, at this point, Valkyrie, Ice Wizard just destroying the Royal Hogs. I can just go for a Rocket Log to finish that off. Tornado as well, just to make sure it got finished off. And that's going to be game. First win against Royal Hogs Earthquake, so is a pretty common deck at this point still, I guess. I mean, they have switched to Ice Spirit at this point, but still should be pretty manageable for Icebow as long as you activate the King early on and switch to a Rocket Cycle later on. So let's keep the matches going, looking for the next match, as we find it right away against what looks to be a Japanese player. Also, some people might ask why I'm playing the Valkyrie in the deck, and I personally feel like Valkyrie is easier to use. I also do prefer it. Knight is a lot of fun too, though, because it does mean you have a faster cycle, but Valkyrie, honestly, just a bit more solid against different cards in the meta, especially Royal Hogs, as you saw just now. Big help in that matchup. So we do see a Fisherman come out. Could be Royal Giant, Giant Skeleton as well, so it could be Royal Giant, Giant Skeleton. Could also be that really popular Royal Hogs Giant Skeleton mirror deck that's been everywhere in the last month. I think ever since the 20-win challenge, it's been kind of ridiculous actually with how popular it's been, but we'll see. Unfortunately, Fisherman does get one swipe off on my Tesla, and he actually mirrors his Giant Skeleton. He's going to go for an Xbow in the right. He actually won't have enough Royal Hogs because mirrored Giant Skeleton costs 7 elixir. Yep, and Royal Hogs cost 5, so just like that, we are able to get a small connection. Going to be absolutely huge, and I hopefully cycled back to my Valkyrie in time, or rather hopefully I have enough elixir to play it in time. But yeah, I did also cycle back to my Valkyrie with that really nice Ice Wizard log on the Royal Hogs, just to kind of mitigate their damage on my Xbow, make the most of my Xbow connection. And Valkyrie putting in so much work there. I absolutely think if I had Knight, I would have gotten kind of destroyed by that sequence. Probably couldn't have done it. Might have just not had to, or might have not been able to go for a offensive Xbow at all. But Valkyrie is just so helpful against all these ground troops, against Royal Hogs again, against all these different ground tanks that you can just kind of splash together. So these are the kind of matchups that Valkyrie just really shines in. And we do see Zappies as well, so this is the pretty standard deck. I think he also has Mother Witch in here, which is going to be kind of annoying. Unfortunately, I misplaced my skeletons there, and yeah, Mother Witch does punish. So 2 Cursed Hogs coming down. I think I'm going to have to go Valkyrie to just take care of this Mother Witch plus Zappies, and yeah, my opponent doing a pretty good job punishing my cycle, and oh my god, Giant Skeleton walking up to my tower. Okay, that is a big miscalculation on my end. I really thought it would get kited by the Tesla. I guess not. Or maybe it got pushed, I don't know. Or I guess Tesla being 4 tiles down does usually not pull quite a few things, so something to keep in mind if you're using that placement. I guess kind of my bad. I think my opponent wants me to rocket that Fisherman, so I'm not going to take it, even though it would be good rocket damage. I think I'm down elixir right now, and I really just have to sit back and focus on defense. And I'm going to go for a low Tesla. I would go for a Valkyrie, but the Fisherman would just whisk it away, so I cannot afford to. And this is actually not looking so good. Unfortunately, Fisherman also gets a hit on my tower, so I guess that wasn't the most optimal defense, but I didn't want to go for a Valk because it would have just gotten pulled away. Then I would have had to go Tesla anyways. But I'm just going to keep the defensive Xbow game plan going. I think he's going to mirror his Giant Skeleton. Okay, no, he doesn't, thankfully. But yeah, we're going to be in for another push right here. And I think he wants me to Valk on that, but I definitely want to save my Valkyrie for this Giant Skeleton plus Fisherman. For sure. And I might try and activate King off of this set of Royal Hogs plus the Ghost. Okay, unfortunately Ghost kind of going to town, and Royal Hog on my right side tower as well. So this is still not looking so good, even though I got a pretty nice early lead. I kind of messed up. I'm just going to rocket the tower though. Mother Witch at the bridge is very interesting. I can literally just ignore it because left side tower is much healthier. I'm going to pull this Royal Ghost into the middle though. Activated King will be really helpful though. I think I should be able to defend as long as I don't take much more damage in the right, because my opponent does have arrows and mirror arrows in this deck, and mirrored Royal Hogs coming down. I think I do have to log them, but yeah, NATO as well, just because he does go for arrows on my skeletons, but we were able to defend that, honestly, pretty well enough. I'm going to go Ice Wizard here, and then set up with another Tesla. I don't really want to go for a Valk, rather save it for maybe Giant Skeleton, or the next set of Royal Hogs, as they come in right here. And my opponent just went for mirrored Royal Hogs, so I think he might do the same thing again. I'm going to save my rocket this time. Yep, had a feeling he was going to do that, so just going to rocket them off. Not going to mess around whatsoever. You know, skeletons, log, whatever, might get arrowed off, might let him go for a Mother Witch or something, so just going to chill. And I think I'm just going to try and slowly chip away at his tower till I can get a rocket off. Going to NATO this Mother Witch into the Valk, hopefully, and hopefully gets another hit. And okay, wow, that's really bad. Unfortunately, Valkyrie does not get another hit, so really got stopped by those Zappies there, and he is spamming really hard, so I kind of a panic Tesla on my end. I think he might go for Royal Hogs in the left in a second here. I'm going to go for a log to hit the Mother Witch as well. Royal Hogs come down, so I'm going to NATO them into the Tesla. this is the good thing about Icebow, at least you have pretty good control over different troops with the tornado. And I think if I just get back to another tornado, I should be able to win by spell damage here. Valk to block, and we just barely were able to get the game off. I'm going to give my opponent the good game. They're very close game, even though I feel like Valkyrie is a huge help in those kind of matchups, like I said. Still, honestly, pretty hard matchup because Mirrored Giant Skeleton is just so annoying. Royal Hogs are really strong, and Mother Witch is really good against Icebow as well, but really, really happy I was able to win that one as well. So that game was definitely a lot more stressful than the first one. Both Royal Hogs matchups, surprisingly. I guess Royal Hogs are just a pretty popular win condition at this point, but found the next match after a little bit of queue time against GT40. Let's hope we don't go against that Giant Skeleton Royal Hogs deck again. But again, I think Valkyrie was absolutely crucial there. If I didn't have Valk, I probably would have lost that long ago. And he goes for a pretty interesting Goblin Drill on the side. Definitely going to activate King off of it. So really nice getting an early activation. We do see Spear Goblins, Wallbreakers. Skeletons will perfectly counter a set of Wallbreakers if you guys didn't know, as long as you react fast enough. He does go for a bat, so I'm kind of tempted to Ice Wizard on them to keep my Valk alive, but I think that's just a bit too aggressive and not really clean gameplay early on, so I'm just going to sit back and chill. Going to Ice Wizard in the back. We do see a Mighty Miner as well, so it looks like it's just going to be Mighty Miner, Goblin Drill, Wallbreakers, probably Fast Cycle with, yeah, Fireball. Probably going to have like some kind of building as well. I would guess Cannon, because it's quite an overpowered building right now. And Tesla should take care of this Mighty Miner. And now he doesn't have Mighty Miner in Cycle, so I actually think I can maybe go in. Gonna Valk just to make sure the Spear Goblins get taken out, and then go for an Xbow right away. Fireball is also not in Cycle because he just fireballed off my Ice Wiz, and gonna log these Wallbreakers back. Hopefully don't take any damage from them. Okay, we do take one explosion, but otherwise it's fine. Gonna NATO these bats back instantly, reacted fast enough, so really nice. Making the most out of this Expo connection. Gonna counter these Spear Goblins with Skeletons. We do, that is pretty much the perfect counter. Okay, never mind, we get an extra hit, but ideally that would perfectly counter if you wait for one to lock on and then go for your Skeletons. But still, my opponent is BMing quite a lot for some reason. I feel like this is quite an annoying matchup, whether I had 3.0 or Icebow, because he has a really fast cycle, and he does have the Fireball as well. So going for another drill, just going to go for a Valk, and then I think this should hopefully perfectly counter with the Ice Wiz slow as well. Okay, bit of a miscalculation on my end, unfortunately. I guess, I don't know, because I didn't really want to go Tesla there. I think it would have been a bit too much of a commitment. At the same time, one Wallbreaker is quite a lot of damage, but just going to rock it at this point, because I'm going same lane as my opponent. I feel like this is just going to be a very defensive game going forward, and I'm going to save up for a NATO, not go for Skeletons, because yeah, he did go for a Prediction Log as well. So if I went Skeletons there, I probably would have taken like 700 damage or something, would have gotten destroyed. My opponent is BMing quite a lot for some reason. Gonna go Valk right on top of the Spears as well, and then Drill coming down again. He does go for a pre-Fireball, hitting the Ice Wiz as well, but hopefully, okay, one Goblin does lock on, but yeah, we're probably going to have to set up with defensive Expos at this point, I think, because my opponent's just constantly fireballing my tower, which I don't really want, and I definitely do think it's a bit too late to switch lanes. So yeah, I'm going to Ice Wiz, and unfortunately the Drill still hits my tower, so that is quite annoying. I think it's kind of a glitch where there's, it's pretty complicated to explain, but there's this thing called True Red, True Blue, and basically sometimes the Drill does hit your troops, and sometimes it just bypasses and hits your tower, like whether you play the troop correctly or not. So kind of annoying there, but anyways, I'm just gonna go Tesla for this Drill, and he does go for a Drill in the back, so gonna go Valk. Going to have to Ice Wiz and log these Wallbreakers too, and then I definitely have to get 2 rockets down, and I definitely have to rocket the first time right now, because if I just keep defending and waiting, I'm just going to slowly get out-chipped by the Drill. So another Drill coming down. Going to go Skeletons, and then I am back to my Valkyrie, thankfully. So thankfully the Drill does get targeted by my troops this time. And my opponent's probably going to spam the bridge right here, so I do have to be careful. But I think Log Rocket will do enough, so just going to Log Rocket, and hopefully he doesn't have enough for a Fireball right in time. Going to BM him. Yeah, it looks like he's 1 away from Fireball, so just going to BM him, because he was pretty much BMing the entire game. And I feel like that is a really annoying matchup, just Goblin Drill spam. But yeah, really happy I was able to win that one for 11-0. Let's hope we can get an undefeated GC video today. Gonna go for the next match, and it looks like queue time is taking quite a long time, so I guess I'll cut it and get back at you guys when we find our final match. Alright guys, and we finally found a match after quite a long time of waiting against Ignacito AC. Looks like he has a lot of 20 win badges, so should be a pretty good player here. Hopefully we can get a nice win and get an undefeated GC with Icebow. I'm going to give my opponent good luck and just cycle a log because he's not playing anything. Okay, Ice Spirit, looking like some kind of cycle deck probably. Yeah, Skeletons as well, so pretty interesting. I think we got 3 out of 4 cycle matchups today, so lots of cycle decks. We do see a Dark Goblin as well, so okay, unfortunately it is going to be Logbait, which is pretty bad considering I cycled my log first play, and pretty smart of my opponent there to play the Goblin Barrel in the anti-NATO placement, so even though I do get an Activated King, I take quite a bit of damage to pay for it, but Activated King should still be pretty useful because I can maybe try and defend the barrels without log all the time, and try and get a nice tornado off sometimes, but yeah, looking like it's going to be Mighty Miner bait because he has cycle cards in here. Just going to go for an Xbow because I have a pretty awkward hand. And yeah, Mighty Miner Cannon just kind of confirms. So I think this is going to be a really hard matchup, honestly. I already struggle with this enough with 3.0, but I feel like with Icebow it's going to be even harder. And that barrel was in the back, so I just played my log lower. Yeah, I feel like it's going to be even more difficult, though, because I do have a slower cycle, which means he can outcycle me, and also just Dark Goblin being pretty obnoxious, pretty hard to deal with when I can't literally log it, and I don't have a Fireball either, so even though I can rocket the tower, and maybe try and get some rocket cycle going, he can probably abuse his Dark Goblins and cause a lot of trouble, so we'll see. Just gonna rocket that Dark Goblin though, because he did play it in the back. I think I might have actually missed it, hopefully not. Okay, I did miss it, but Tesla does take care of the Dark Goblin anyways, but he just rockets me back, and yeah, this is kind of tough, because I don't know, I already took quite a lot of damage, which is obviously not ideal, considering this kind of matchup is already pretty hard, I would say. Gonna be hard to come back, but I definitely think I need an Expo connection to come back, because I can't just trade rockets. He's obviously gonna win if we do that, so we'll see. Just gonna set up with an Ice Wizard in the back though. I'm gonna go for another Expo. Looks like he is committing quite a lot, and the right is gonna go Valk as well, predict the Mighty Miner. Gonna trade the Mighty Miner back so that it does kind of tone down its drill charge up, and then also make sure it takes out the cannon as well. Gonna Ice Wiz to predict whatever he plays. We do actually get Expo on tower, which is huge. Gonna protect this with everything I can. Gonna get my Valkyrie down, hopefully in time as well, and I do, which is huge. So gonna get to tornado this barrel back, which is again the benefit of the Activated King. Even though I took quite a lot of damage, looks like we got about 2,000 damage just with that one connection, which is absolutely insane. I think I actually do have to defend that Ice Spirit because I can't really afford to take much damage, but wow, my opponent committed quite a lot there with the Mighty Miner Cannon and Barrel. That's basically his entire elixir bar, so definitely going to go in. He won't have Cannon or Mighty Miner immediately in cycle either. In our tornado, and looks like we actually hit the Dark Goblin, Skeletons, and Ice Spirit, so even though my opponent does protect the Dark Goblin, I think I can just rocket because I feel like at this point that is in range of 2 rockets as well as all my other spells. So pretty nice defense there without using the log. Valkyrie is pretty helpful, and Activated King is also pretty helpful, and I think I just have to get a rocket, log, and tornado to take the game. Obviously though, I'm kind of wary of using my log on offense because it is Logbait, and I could just choke to like one huge barrel. Mighty Miner in the back, definitely going to go in though, Expo plus Tesla, and he does go for a barrel, so just going to log that off. It looks like he is, I think he's going to have to switch lanes with this Mighty Miner, otherwise I don't really see how he's going to defend my Expo. Going to Valk on top of both of them, and looks like he's just trying to stall out my Expo forever. Goes for another barrel, but going to get a nice tornado off, and going to Ice Wiz as well. New spawn damage, pretty nice to perfectly defend that. And wow, it looks like my opponent just tried to stall out my Expo forever, but kind of got overwhelmed at the end. And so we are going to be able to get a really nice comeback and win against Mighty Miner Logbait for the 12 win, which I am super happy about because 12-0 with Icebow is really nice. I mean, I really like playing Icebow. I don't think I'm super good at it. Obviously, I'm pretty decent at it because I play Xbow quite a lot, but definitely not my specialty, so really happy I was able to get an undefeated GC against quite a few difficult matchups, I would say. Like Logbait there was hard. Drill, I wouldn't say was easy. Let's open up our 12-win chest, though. Really nice stuff. Not that I really need too much in this chest because a lot of my cards are max stack, but I mean, for 100 gems, you can't go wrong with that value. And I did want to finish this GC off just so I can play Royale in time. Accidentally opened the screen, so I'll just fill it up really quickly. But yeah, really nice games today. Gonna be in 12 win, and I got 3 out of 4 12 wins in my last few GCs, so really nice. Although I haven't played a GC in quite a long time, so yeah, really happy to get that 12 win though. Really nice games. I feel like Royal Hogs, both the matchups were pretty interesting. The Giant Skeleton one was really hard, but very close ending there. And Mighty Miner also a pretty close game at the end. So really nice, really intense games for a pretty good video overall. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.